Hi, I'm Callum from Time Valley Motorhomes, and today I'll be doing the handover video on the Burstner A647. So coming down the driver's side of the vehicle, you've got your fresh water intake which opens with the Burstner key. So you open it up. Open it, put your hose pipe in there until it either overflows or until you've got enough water on board, which you can see the level of water on the main control panel above the habitation door, which I'll show you once we are inside the vehicle. And obviously you can lock it to stop anyone tampering with your water. Below is your weight plate, so you've got this vehicle's gross weight is 4 tonne. If you were to put a tow bar on and tow anything, you can tow up to a train weight not exceeding 5.2 tonne, which is the motorhome and the trailer, and you've got your front and back axle weights. Moving further along, you've got your flue for your boiler, so just make sure this is obstruction free all the time. You don't have to take the cover off, just make sure that nothing is put round it. If you're going to put an air on or anything, make sure it's got ventilation. Got your fridge vent covers, and then you do have your garage, again opens with the Burstner key. And then here you've got your external shower point. So you've got hot and cold. Obviously you'll only get hot if the boiler's been on, and do make sure the pump's on. You'll be able to use that to wash the dog off, or the bikes or the boots. And then behind is just your boiler, so that's just for when the vehicle's serviced. You don't really need to be in there, it's more for when it comes back to us to be serviced. And then you do have your infill cushions for the beds, your carpets are there. You've got a hose which clips onto the external waste point, and then you can clip that on the end of the hose on the motorhome and put it into the grid if you're on a super site. Your toolkit's at the back there, so wrapped in the fabric cover as your toolkit, so it's got a jack and a brace, a tone eye in there, and you've got your awning and your afterbar, which I'll show you separately. And then on the back of the vehicle you've got your high level brake light with reverse camera, and you do of course have your tow bar with 7-pin electrics. So if you were towing anything, it is a 7-pin electric, or you can get an adapter for that to change it to 13-pin. And then coming round the passenger side of the vehicle, you've got your wastewater outlet. So any water you've put or anything you've put down a plug hole goes into a separate holding tank, and then you can open it up and drain that off. So that's just the water I've tested the vehicle with. And obviously you drive over a grid and allow that to drain in the designated drain off point on a site. And then above you've got your LPG, so liquid petroleum gas. This is your gas locker, again opens with the Burstner key. And in here you can get 2 bottles, so you can get 2 6s, so you can get one behind and one at the front. Obviously always make sure it is tied in with the straps, top and bottom. And then to get the pigtail, which is this, onto the bottle, it's a left hand thread for gas, so opposite threads. Left hand to tighten it up, and then turn on and off at the top of the bottle. Always turn it off when you travel, and then if you did need to turn this off, so take the hose off and put on the other bottle by right hand thread to unloosen. And coming down here, so this is your cassette loo. So your toilet's behind there, this is your cassette, this is where it all ends up. So what you need to do is make sure the blade on the bottom of the bowl of the toilet's closed first of all, otherwise the cassette won't come out. You've got a small yellow lever, lift it up, and then you'll be able to slide the cassette out. Once you've slid the cassette out, you take the top off, go to your waste disposal point, which is normally behind or beside your toilet block. Press the button at the back, it allows a bit of air in, stops it glugging, lets it flow constant. Tip it out. Once you've tipped it out, it's normally a tap, put some water in the spout, put the lid back on, give it a shake, get the remainder of the liquid out, tip out again, and then if you are using the chemical, cap full, straight into here, and then it's ready to use. If you're using the tablets, make sure you put a pint of water back into the cassette, and then you can drop a tablet straight down the toilet, and it'll break up into the liquid. You've got your hookup point here, so to hook the vehicle up first, you get your hookup lead, lift the lever, put the lever on top, and slide it on, and then to unhook, there's a small blue lever on the side which you would unhook the vehicle with. Always hook the vehicle up first, then your power point source on your site, and obviously do it in reverse when unhooking the vehicle, as we wouldn't want you walking around with a live lead. And then if we go to the passenger door, you've got your carb, which I'll go through in a moment once we're inside the vehicle. But if we just come round to the wing, this is where you fill up with fuel. So you don't, on the wing, push from the back, which opens it, and then if you get your main ignition key, which will unlock your lockable fuel cap, and then you can fill with fuel, and then turn the key, and it'll lock that as well. And then we'll just have a quick look underneath the bonnet, and your bonnet release is just underneath, above the clutch pedal there, underneath the steering column. And then in here you've got your various liquids, so you've got your screen wash down here first of all. Screen wash, which is the main one you're going to need. You've got your radiator fluid, you've got your power steering fluid here, your brake fluid, your engine battery, so you've got your negative and earth at the back, so your positive at the back and negative at the front should you ever need to jump start the vehicle or use this to jump start any other vehicle. You jump off the battery itself. And then you've got your oil filler and your oil dipstick there as well. Weight plate from when it was a Fade chassis cab, forget about that, because it's not, it says here it's 3.5 ton, it's not, it's 4 ton, as it's been calibrated to be a motorhome on the other sticker by the door from a stage 2 conversion. And then you do have your various other bits and pieces in your engine, your fuses in here. Once inside the vehicle, you've got your control panel above the door. So first thing, you've got your 12 volts, so you can turn your 12 volt on at the top and off at the bottom. So this is just your leisure battery. This indicates when the vehicle's hooked up. You'll get an orange light like so, like we are now, and this will tell you that you've got two 30 volt on board. You can put your tap on, which is your pump for your water. So if you're using any water appliance in your, such as your sink in your kitchen, your shower, your toilet, your exterior shower, you must have the pump on to allow the water to come through the pipes. And then you've got your, this side you've got fresh water at the top, and it'll tell you that we've got half a tank of fresh water on board, and wastewater at the bottom, which we've got 0 because I've just opened it. This will alarm once the batteries are low. And then you've got your battery at the front of the van, engine battery, Fade battery, engine at the battery at the back of the van, leisure battery, which is near enough full. And then to lock your habitation door, you would just press this tab on the top of the handle down, which locks it, and then as soon as you go to release it, it'll lift back up and open the habitation door. And then your heating system on this motorhome is gas only, and the water is electric. So to heat it on, the top switch, so you've got off in the middle, you've got 60 degrees of heating your water at the top, water alone, 40 degrees of heating your water, which is heating your water at 40 degrees, off in the middle. The flame is heating on its own, so if you didn't want the heating on, you can have the water on its own, or if you didn't want the water on, i.e. you've got no water in the tank, you can have the heating on its own on the flame. And 1 to 9 is just your temperature of the vehicle, or you can have heating and hot water at 60 degrees at the bottom. And then below you've got your Truma Trumatic's CEL, which stands for electric, 230 volt, and then this, to heat your water, you just turn it on and the green light will come on like so. And this is heating your water on electric. In your kitchen area, you've got 3 gas burner rings, which you will need some sort of clicker or match to light them, like so. Once you've used it, allow it to cool down before you put the glass lid down. And then underneath you've got your grill, and oven, so you will have to use a clicker as well to operate the grill pan and the oven. To operate the grill, like so, that's your grill lit, and you would allow the thermocouple to get warm before you released, and then further down you've got your oven. And then this is just showing that your hot water is working there as it's hot, and you can see the steam coming off the water. And then you do have your two 230 sockets when hooked up. You've got an extractor fan just under here, so this is what this switch does, and then you've got your lights underneath your cupboards there. And then to operate your fridge and freezer, where you've got your unlock and lock there, unlock both doors so you can shut them when traveling, and you've got the same on the fridge door, so you can open it or you can lock it, that stays shut. And then above you've got the controls, so you've got off. If you're wild camping and you weren't hooked up, you'd be on gas operating your fridge freezer, so you turn to gas, you'll get a light there. The light is very faint on this, so you will have to look closely, and as you can see you've got a little light on there. Below you have 230 volt, so if you're hooked up, don't waste your gas, put the fridge onto mains power. And then when you're traveling, you can have it on to 12 volt only if you have chilled the fridge first. So if you're lucky enough to keep this at home, put it on, hook up the day before, allow it to chill. The night before, put your shopping in, and then when you are ready to travel, just knock it on to 12 volt, and it will keep the shopping nice and fresh. Basically it acts like a cool box. Or you can have it on automatic, and it'll automatically find the best source for you, so it'll skip between gas, 240 and 12 volt. So if you were hooked up, it would automatically go to hook up like it has now. So there's a little green light on there, and then you've got this switch here. So this switch puts a bit of heat around the rubber of the door on here to stop it freezing when it's on optimum temperature of the freezer box. And then you've just got your temperature here, so you've got min and you've got max at the top. And obviously when you bed it down for the winter and stop using the vehicle, if you clean your freezer box and fridge out, and then if you just put something to stop the door on both from shutting, as this will form an airtight barrier and it will make mold grow in the fridge, so leave it open and allow ventilation in and out the fridge and freezer box. And to open the skylight above the double bed at the rear, simply turn here, pull the clamp out, turn and lift up, and then you do have a fly screen and a blackout blind on there for on an evening or when it is open. And obviously make sure all your skylights and windows are closed when you are travelling. Then you can shut it and put the clamp back in like so. And your windows, to open your windows, open the 4 levers in the corners, 2 in each, push out, it stays open, push it all the way out to bring it in and securely fasten to the frame. And then you do have a blackout blind, or should I say a fly screen, and a blackout blind. switches for your lights. And in your bathroom area, you've got storage in here for your various toiletries, and storage behind. You've got your toilet roll holder, and then make sure the pump's on. You'll be able to press, and this is flush from the main freshwater tank. So if you're going to use pink ball cleaner, put it in a spray bottle and spray it and flush at the same time. And then to open the blade on the bottom of the toilet, you've got a small grey lever. You slide it to the right and it opens the trap door. So when using the toilet, what you do is you'd flush first to lubricate the blade, open it up, use the toilet, and then after use you'd flush it, and then you would close the blade. You will get an indicator on here by an LED light when the toilet cassette is ready to be emptied. That'll go red. And you do have your light switch, 12 volt socket there, but you will need an adapter as it's a Continental 12 volt. Space underneath it there for toiletries. Up there, bringing through your hot water. In the middle you've got your wardrobe, so you've got all your carpets. You've got your TV aerial, so to operate your TV aerial you'll always want to make sure that it's securely pulled into the vehicle and fastened when in transit. And then if you are struggling to get a signal, you can loosen the nut off, you can push the pole up and you'll see the aerial, and then you can use this toggle to direct the aerial, and what that's doing is it's making the aerial lean to one side or the other side to get a signal. But a tip with the aerial is look where your other motorhomes and caravans are pointing on your sight, and then when you are, and you should get a decent enough signal. And then when you are travelling, make sure it is securely fastened. And then adjacent to the washroom area you do have your shower. So when you're travelling, make sure that you have put the turnbuckles on the shower screens, as it can make a noise when on the road, and then obviously loosen it off to use. Put your shower, your light for your showers in here, puts that light on. Put your shower head, which works like so. And then once you have used the shower and you're ready to winterize the vehicle, if you just take the shower head off the hose and allow the hose to lie in the shower tray, because as you can see it's got a loop in it and any water in there could split the pipe and freeze in there, so lie it down to let any water out and leave all the mixer taps throughout the vehicle open, so kitchen, bathroom and shower. And obviously open your boiler, which I'll show you how to open your boiler in a moment. And to drain your boiler, so you've got your underneath your base of your travelling seats in the rear, you've got your hot water drain, which you'd lift the tab up and stand it up, and it'll drain off all the hot water in the system underneath. And then to do your fresh water, so what you need to do is you need to push it in to open and pull it out to close, so you'd leave it open throughout the duration that the vehicle's standing, especially in the winter, as you wouldn't want it to freeze in the boiler or the pipes, as they're just plastic pipes in the boiler. Is very expensive to repair or replace and isn't covered under warranty, so stand this one up and push that one in like so. Underneath this flap in the floor you do have your location for your leisure battery, which is in there, so should you ever need to get that out or charge it by taking it in the house over the winter, you'd access it here. And you've got storage underneath this seat as well. And to drain your fresh water off, so your waste at the back of the vehicle outside, your fresh is inside, so behind the driver's seat. If you lift this flap up and you open the red lid, as you can see there's a plug on there and there's a plug in the water. Obviously you just pull that out and not all this fresh water will drain. So if you've taken on any contaminated water, you do this if you're not using the vehicle for a while, and especially in the winter when winterizing the vehicle, you want all the water out. So waste, fresh, boiler, all the taps, and you would just pull the plug out and allow the water to drain directly underneath the chassis. And in here you do have a 12 volt, your TV aerial, which is down here, which can be pulled through here if you wanted to telly in there or in there. Two 240s and a USB, and then you've got your telly bracket, which you can release, put your telly on there if you require, push it in and out, and then obviously you would fold it up when you were travelling. So to make the bed, first of all you'd slide this section out like so. Then you'd need to drop the table, so I'll show you how to drop the table. But what you need to do is you need to lift it up, and if you just screw your leg off, take your leg off, put your smaller leg on, and then you would put it onto this rail at the bottom. So once I've done that, I will show you. And then you'd slide it onto this rail, and obviously getting it on and off, there's this red little stopper at the end. You can push that in or out, and that just releases your little catch in there to stop it coming off the rail. Put it onto this rail here, and then you would use your infill cushions and your spare bed board. And then this is how you arrange the cushions. So you've got the base cushion from the side seat, the base cushion from this seat here, the two infill cushions, and the backrest from that back there goes in there to make your double bed. And then with the table, you've got your extension board there at the back. So you'd slide the table forward as it's on a runner. You've got your extension board, which has got 3 pins which locate into the holes on the table, and then you would slide that back on itself to form a tight bed board there. But with the table, if you were struggling to get it forward, if you just lift it up slightly, there is a locking pin here, so you can lock it into position. So you'd have to undo that to allow it to slide. And then you do have your large double bed above, which you can push up, and it's on gas struts to allow a taller person to get in and out the cab. So in the cab, you do have your handbrake to your right, and you've also got your lever for spinning your seats. You've got your electric windows and electric mirrors, which does the top and the bottom. And then you've got your Remus cab blinds, so they just slide along, and the magnetic at the ends like so. Blacks the door off, and you've got the same on the windscreen from this side. Like so. And then that just clips back into position. And then you've got your camera button here, so you can turn your camera on and off. So it acts as a rear view camera when in reverse. And it goes off. So it'll only work when in reverse, your rear view camera. Then you've got your lights and your indicators this side, and your wipers this side. Headlight adjustment on the dashboard here. Then you've got your column adjustment for your steering wheel, so you can pull it up or down ever so slightly. 5-speed manual gearbox with lifter into reverse, brings on the camera. You've got your fan speed, your temperature, your distribution, so where you want the air to go to, and either recirculating air within the vehicle or bringing fresh air in here. And obviously you do have your aircon as well, so you can put the aircon on here. Little money pot or ashtray there, and you've got two 12 volts coming to the buttons here. So you've got your heated mirrors, your hazards, your rear fogs, and ASR off is anti-slip relief, so it's basically like turning your traction control off. And you've got your radio, so your blow punk radio. So you'd scan for your channels, press 1 to 6 to save, or you can press SRC in the top corner, FM, and then you can fold it and you've got a CD in the back there. So that'll read that once the CD is in place. Like so. Lockable glove box.